Hello, Vinyl Community, Dave the Pickup Artist, with you for another round of Psychedelic Sunday, where the cost of one admission is your mind. We got some new pickups this week, and some pickups I scored a couple weeks ago at yesterday, and today I didn't show. So let's get to it. First up, I got kind of a whole fill. We picked up, finally got this one, Psychedelic Guitars. The Psychedelic Exploitation Classic. And this is, of course, part one. A great psychedelic instrumental.
They're eating the people that live there.
These albums apparently feature Jerry Cole, who was a little-known session musician, mostly guitar. Apparently he does the tracks. Who knows who does the bass and the drums? Maybe Jerry Cole. But yeah, Jerry Cole was a session musician you never really heard about. He kept low profile. But yeah, this is just great psychedelic instrumental rock that you could find on the cheap back in the day. Of course, this has got the shrink on it. And this is a whole fill because I wanted to add it to my other album, More Psychedelic Guitars. Folks, this is a mother and child reunion. And I don't believe they did a third one, but both of these albums are great. And great guitar by Jerry Cole. And these are, of course, on the custom record label. I guess it was a budget thing. But yeah, glad to add this, finally. And this is cheap heat. You can find these albums for not very much. So I was at a estate sale the other day. I knew there was going to be records there. I saw a few. I got there. Somebody was already rifling through the 12-inch records. It seemed like they were mostly like Jethro Tull. There were a couple that I wanted, like the Allman Brothers at Fillmore East. I'm looking for a certain pressing for that album, and but the problem was the albums were like $10. I mean, it was so bad. Even the double albums, they were charging $20. There was a Kinks double album they wanted $20 for. And you could probably find that on Amazon, a brand new copy for that much. But while this one clown was going through the 12-inch records, I spotted some 2 shoe boxes full of 7-inch records, singles. And I found an amazing thing. These shoeboxes were the same song. This guy was a Louie completist. He had every single for Louie by every artist that ever recorded it. It was amazing looking. I mean, every band that you could think of. The Pretenders did a version of Louie. Who knew that? And a lot of times he had 2 copies of the same Louie version. The thing about the singles is they wanted $5 for the singles, which I think is outrageous. I did find one item that I wasn't going to leave without. I saw this called Kink Size Sessions. Now, this is one of the earliest recordings from the Kinks from 1964. And this is one of those 4-song 7 inches.
Us liberals thrown in prison, arrested, put in concentration camps.
And it's one of those fold-over back covers. And one of the tracks is, of course, Louie. This is part of his Louie collection.
Make it home, the way of life. Oh, baby, I gotta go. Yeah. The way of life. Oh, baby, I gotta go.
And it's good stuff. We've got 4 tracks. It's a lot like this 7-inch I showed a couple of weeks ago. Of course, this is a repress, but this is the real Dion mono, and it's very cool. I was happy to pay $5 for this, but normally I wouldn't pay $5 for a single unless it's something like this. But yeah, it was very cool. The guy that was ahead of me, he ended up paying like $100 for a stack of Jethro Tull albums that he could have probably got a lot cheaper. So, folks, estate sales aren't what they used to be. They really are turning into like garbage. But occasionally you find a jewel in the turd bowl, but yeah.
Puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
I wanted to show some more records that I picked up a couple of weeks ago at the Yesterday and Today Records in San Marco. These are from the bargain bin, the $2 bargain bin at Yesterday and Today. First up, there's an album I already have, but it was in such good condition, or the cover was anyway. I picked up Clear by Spirit. This is another great Spirit album, one of their better albums. Usually when you see this album, the cover is really worn, but unfortunately the vinyl's probably V or a G plus or maybe a VG. I don't know, but this is a good one. I think this is like their 4th or 5th album. Yeah, Clear by Spirit. Next one I found is an oddity. Most folks know Dion as the leader of Dion and the Belmonts, which was a vocal group in the late 50s and the early 60s. Dion had a string of hits. Then the string dried up. One of the problems he had is he had been addicted to heroin since his teens, and he was battling that. And in somewhere in the mid-60s, the label dropped him. In 1968, he kind of cleaned up his act, and he asked the label if he could get back on. And the label said, yeah, but you have to cover this song. And the song was Abraham, Martin, and John, a political song. And it became a hit. So this is Dion's comeback album from 1968. And the first track is, of course, Abraham, Martin, and John.
I thought I saw him walking up on hill, Abraham, Martin, and
I believe it went to number 4 on the US charts. And this is mostly covers. Now, the second song is actually a cover of Purple Haze, if you can believe that. But it doesn't sound anything like Jimi Hendrix. He does a freak folk version of Purple Haze.
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man.
And we also get tracks like Both Sides Now from Joni Mitchell and some Stevie Wonder tracks. And it's on Lori, the Lori label. That's the label that he got back on. And the good news is he got off heroin for good and is alive today to tell about it at 80. I believe he's mid-80s. Was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, still alive and well. Dion from 1968. Yeah, that was cool to find. Like I said, most of these are G plus VG on the vinyl. Another band that was having a similar situation was the Rascals, who put out Freedom Suite. I believe this is 1969. And the same thing was kind of happening with these guys. The hits were slowly drying up, and they decided to put out a double album. And it's kind of unusual. You get the first record is pretty much the Rascals that we all know and love. And on side 2, we get I think it is what would become their last hit that they had, People Gotta Be Free. But the really interesting record is the second one, where we've got kind of like solos and jamming. We get a drum solo, not like anything we've heard from the Rascals. want to be considered more of an album-oriented band at this point, but this was kind of the beginning of the end for the Rascals. But it's interesting, and the jamming's not bad. Especially the keyboard by Felix Cavalardi, and you gotta love this metallic looking. That was a big thing. Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you can find it cheap. And you should be able to find any Rascals album under $10. This was $2, so, and it doesn't sound bad. It's VG. The next one I found is one I've wanted for a while, been looking for. I talked to somebody about this one, but I found it in kind of the shrink in the bargain bin. Speaking of the bargain bin, I've been finding Bob Dylan a lot in this particular bargain bin. And when I do, I usually give him some money to get lunch. So it's... but next one I have is The Blues Project, live at Town Hall. I think this is their third album.
You're being a wise guy.
And the first album was a live album also. It was live at the Cafe A Go-Go, I believe. Then they had the studio album, Projections. Then this one.
Everybody in? Everybody ready? The Blues Project!
Project at Town Hall live. Now, it is live, but there's only one track from the Town Hall that was live. The rest of the tracks on here are taken from other venues, and there's a couple of tracks on here that were studio tracks, and they added the crowd noise to give it the live feel. And on here, this is great. We get the flute thing song. And on side 2, we get their Nuggets hit called No Time Like the Right Time. Garage Psych classic. And yeah, there's good stuff on here. My favorite track on here is the last track, Wake Me, Shake Me. A 10-minute version of that song. And of course, these guys went on to other bands like Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Electric Flag. And yeah, this is really fantastic. And they were, at this point, they were a 4-piece. They originally had a lead singer, but he left. Yeah. There's another album they did in the 60s, too. A 4th album that I don't have either. So I'm looking for that one. Then I'm not interested in the 70s stuff because it wasn't... The band had splintered and there was only a few members left in the 70s. So, but the first 3 albums are solid by the Blues Project. Solid stuff. And that's all we've got this week, folks. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Take care, all.
And I do any vinyl tag you want. In America here, we don't even know when Donald Trump gets in the office if we're going to be allowed to do these anymore ever. Okay? So we may not be able to. We might be like all thrown, us liberals, thrown in prison, arrested, put in concentration camps because of that. So